Hey guys, Casual Game here, and today I'm going to show you guys how to do a, Firelands solo 25. So, without further ado, let's actually get right into it. If you guys are actually playing in 6.2, you guys are actually starting to realize that you guys a lot of these raids are starting to get a little bit easier. And this has actually always been one of the raids that I've always kind of enjoyed raiding. Back in the day. But since then since then it's actually gotten quite easy, right? So just to kind of double check, yes, we are doing 25 men. Yes, we are doing Firelands, and I'm gonna be going as a Pharaoh Druid, just because I have enough DPS. My item level is gonna be 699 to 701. It's actually not the best, but it basically gets the job done. A couple things to kind of know here in Firelands, specifically in Firelands, there's a specific boss here, Shannox. So Shannox, unless you're like a tank spec, what he would do is, after the first 5-10 seconds of DPSing, he will stun you. He will have a permanent stun, and then you're gonna have to wipe at that point, right? So what you can do is, you can actually mitigate that by either coming in as a tank spec as a secondary specialization, um, or alternatively, what you can do is you can actually put a dot on him. And if you can kill him fast enough, then you should be okay. But otherwise, you guys have to either skip this boss, and what he does is he'll actually patrol around this area. And so hopefully, if you guys don't have enough, kind of if you don't have a tank spec, or if you don't, if you're coming in here with not enough damage or whatnot, I would almost avoid this boss entirely, just because he has a perma stun. So without further ado, let's actually go ahead and actually loot it. So let's start the timer. Hopefully I can get this raid done in 10-15 minutes. So let's actually go. And I will aggro all these guys. And I will aggro all these guys. And I love how they're actually all in bunch, so then you can actually just swipe them, just to get it over with. And these guys used to give us quite a bit of give us quite a bit of difficulties back in the day, but now it's not too big of a deal. And now aggro these guys. And now aggro him. Oops, so these guys actually knocked back, so I'm gonna have to clear these guys up, so. Oh, damn it. That's a clone. So this raid actually gives you quite a bit of gold. They actually give you very close to, from experience, it actually gives you roughly like close to 2,000 gold. Obviously depending on what kind of loot it is. If you guys have more weapons and whatnot, obviously that translates to more gold. But in general, this raid pays off pretty well. So that's why I wouldn't mind. I actually enjoy doing this once a week kind of thing, just because I spent quite a, I actually recently spent some money by Grumpus, and that cost me quite a bit of money, so quite a bit of gold. So that's why I'm here trying to get it back. Okay, I'm gonna try to kill these phoenix. Swipe the spiders. Oops. I have to unleash these guys. So alternatively, you can actually skip all these bosses, right? But I sorry, you can actually skip all these trash. But I prefer to actually do them just for the additional gold. So some of these guys usually drop some weapons, some BOEs, which actually equates to quite a bit of gold if you actually sell it later on. So and it really all it takes is only a couple more seconds to actually go about and killing these guys, right? But of course, if damage is a consideration, and that is kind of a concern, then I would almost skip these guys and try to group them all together, and you can kill them all at once, kind of thing, right? So one sec here. So yeah, so as you can see, some of these guys drop BOEs, which is usually quite a bit of gold. All things considered, just because you're here already, you might as well pick it up, right? And then I guess the good thing about coming in here as a Pharaoh Druid is you can actually use dash and Stamping Aurora, so then this saves quite a bit of time, right? So here we are, we're approaching the first boss here. It's a giant spider, Beth'tilac, and what it does is actually once you actually aggro him, what happens is a series of spiders would actually come down, and then you have to kill one of the spiders. You have to get up there, and the best thing for you to do is for you to DPS all the way up there and just absolutely kill him. Just because the second phase would so there's a couple phases, right? The first phase is he goes up there, you go up there, you guys fight up there, and then the second phase is he comes down, and then at that point you have to follow. But when you actually come down, there's gonna be little spiders that actually perma stun you. So essentially, what I'm saying is we cannot make it to the second phase if you're gonna solo this. Just because you get perma stun, and then that's the end, that's GG right there. That's gonna be a wipe right there, right? So you have to go back. So you can see, very nice graphics. I'm always been a big fan of the Firelands, right? So these spiders gonna come down, right? I'm gonna try to DPS one. I don't know what's best. I guess Moonfire is best. So then this line will come down, right? And once you click it, you would actually be moved upwards. And then here we have up there, but be careful of this hole right here, right? Um, once there's a hole there, once you actually step on it, you might drop down, and then that's where you're gonna get perma stun, and then that's a wipe automatically right there. So your goal is to actually DPS him down. So okay, so now that we destroyed him, he would actually head down, and then that's gonna be the end of this raid. Yep. So that's sorry, not end of the raid, sorry, end of the battle. What am I saying? It's not over yet. Okay, so now that we're done here, what you have to do is you have to back all the way out. Preferably you can actually jump it, but you can't jump it. So you have to go all the way out here. Feel free to fast forward past this part, just because this is going to be me running all the way back. I don't know if there's a way for me to jump down from there. I've actually never tried, but as far as I know, it's all uncaved, right? So I literally have to walk all the way out. But again, that's the good thing about druids. I can actually utilize a couple of my abilities, so then that way I can actually finish this raid faster. So let's see. So the next boss we're gonna try to attempt would be let's go with the you can go Rhyolith for you to actually finish the second one. And as you're running back, if it'll be cool for you guys to aggro some of these guys as well, because these guys occasionally drop a lot of weapons, which you can sell for like 40, 50 gold, which is a massive amount of gold. Just given that like right now you can actually buy game time with gold, I think that's the best way for you to utilize. I mean, if you're raiding anyways and you're here for for the for the two mounts that you can actually get, or the achievement mount, you might as well kill some of these ads. It doesn't take you that much more time. As far as I know, they don't really stun you. Although some of the turtles really do knock you back, so you gotta be careful about those guys because like that's gonna end up taking your time, right? So they're gonna knock you back. A couple of them is gonna do that, and then you're gonna end up like wasting time trying to run back. So as we're here, let's try to kill these guys. So the next boss is a game of balance. So traditionally, what happens is it's it that boss basically walks left and right, and after it walks quite a few times, it would actually cause a buff and a debuff. So he's gonna get a buff, and then you're gonna get a debuff. And it used to be okay. Um, I can't say it used to be difficult because it didn't used to be difficult. But so let me actually get on a mount. Let me aggro these guys. Just outright kill these guys. Ouch. Oh yeah, lockboxes. Once upon a time. So yeah, so you used to run past here, and then in the in the olden days, a lot of people would actually get super damaged here, and then the healer gets all pissed off and threatens to threatens to leave. But that's back in the day. Right now, it's things are a lot easier. I think if anything, Blizzard has made things a lot easier compared to back in Cataclysm, or I guess even Mr. Pandaria. Things were a little bit more difficult. I think things are far easier now. So this is the boss here, Rhyolith. I'm not even sure if I can pronounce his name. So basically, what you would do is you would actually there's really two enemies, right? The left foot and right foot, and then he has a balance here, right? So as you attack one side, right, it will walk one way. There's actually an achievement here where you can actually force him to only walk right, and then you will actually get the achievement. I already have that already, so I don't really want to, like, there's no point for me to do it again, kind of thing. So all you gotta do is just DPS him down. Although I'm lagging a little bit here, I don't know why. And then he'll have all these ads in phase 1, but the goal here is to actually burst him down between phase 3, because phase 3 he'll have significant ads, and he'll of course he'll do a lot more damage in later phases. So yep. So now that he's down, you'll kill these ads. Oh, not yet. Yep. So now that he's down, sorry, when you kill the foot, he actually becomes one entity, and then you have to like literally kill him. So that's done. So I'm gonna get him a mount, heal a little bit, and then start going. Oh, I'm gonna take a fall. Oh yes, I'm good. Just to save some time. And of course, I actually have a passive healing, but just in case I run into some of the other bosses and whatnot, then that's actually where that's gonna come. So 1 second here, 1 second here. So I'm just gonna aggro a lot of these guys down. So let me kill these guys. Yep. So some of these items are BOE. You can attempt to sell them in the auction house, but chances are they're not gonna be worth a lot unless there's some players that really haven't transitioned into Warlords of Draenor, or or even pre, or even if, or I guess they haven't pre-ordered Legion, but it's really rare. Like if you're playing World of Warcraft, of course you're gonna get the most updated patch, unless you decided to, like, unless you decided to stay at a certain level just for PvP purposes. But even then, I think that, yeah, I guess maybe to each their own. Because I would tend to think that's a little bit more boring. But just because, I'm not as hardcore as some of the other individuals here that are playing World of Warcraft. I'm more of a casual gamer, as you can see from my name. So the next thing I gotta do is I can actually kill Alysrazor, or I can actually wait for Shannox. So let's see where Shannox is right now. He's nowhere. Oh, I guess, yeah. Yeah, actually he's right there. So it's gonna take some time. So you might as well go kill. Why am I? Oh, okay. There's an elite spare. Oh, that's stun. So this is the area where you would actually attempt to fly. So in this area, what you have to do is you have to kill these ads, kill these trash, and then you can leave these guys alone if you want. And then this is where Majordomo is. So actually, I should go kill these. I should kill these guys. Although I'm a big fan of phoenixes, so, but it's, yeah, I gotta kill these guys. Although I've been a big fan of phoenixes, so. That's weird how these guys have a different hitbox. So kill these guys. So here is where you actually kill Alysrazor, and Major Domo's gonna give a speech. Can't really damage him that much. I mean, you can, but it's not gonna do anything. He's gonna root you, right? And he's gonna fly away, and you have to like take him down later on. But this is where Alysrazor will come. So there's actually achievement here, and what you have to do is you would actually have to fly. So later on, when you actually click the feathers and you're DPSing him, you would actually get a chance to fly. And then so the Phoenix will try to fly away, and then your goal is to catch him and to DPS him down, right? So if this is one sec here, let me just. Oh, I can't even do anything yet. So this is also the area where you have a chance of getting the getting one of the mounts, getting the Firebird mount. So hopefully, I've yet to get that, so I'm hoping that one of these days I will actually get it. So you would try to DPS these guys down as he lands, and what he'll do is he'll actually drop feathers, and then once you pick up 3 feathers, you will begin to descend, and you'll begin to fly. So historically, what he'll do is, he'll actually give you he'll actually do one of 2 things, right? He'll actually produce a series of clouds, explosion clouds, which you have to avoid, and then some of these rings you have to actually catch. And then once you have these rings, you'll actually get a buff for the next boss because you'll do significantly more damage, right? But because we're playing Warlords of Draenor 6.2, the additional damage doesn't make a difference because we already do quite a bit of damage already. So I will do my best to DPS these guys down ASAP, or DPS this guy down ASAP. And then once I kill him, I'm gonna go back for the loot later on, just because you can actually fly across. You can actually there's a chance for you to fly across to go directly to the last boss. So this guy's dead, right? So you have his wings, and then what you would try to do is you would try to fly across this invisible wall here. I'm not sure if they patched it. Oh, never mind. Darn, not fast enough. So let me actually go back now that we're here. Let me actually go back and loot. Unfortunately, okay, this is where Shannox is. I'm gonna try to aggro him, but before that, I'm gonna go to my tank spec, just because he will actually do a stun, and that will actually hurt, and it's gonna be a perma stun, one of those perma stuns. So let me go try and catch him. It's like, hey, you, get over here. Yep. So as I'm doing this, I'm trying. Or alternatively, what you can do is, if I'm in tank spec, I still have I still have 2 abilities on my cat form, right? And because I'm still geared for DPS, I can actually shapeshift and it'll be okay. But historically, what happened is, some of these guys they would leave a they would actually leave a buff, sorry, a debuff, right? And then after a while, like the bleed will get to you. So this fight is far easier now, of course, compared to before. And then finally, you would actually kill Baleroc, and then you would actually access to get across to the Citadel, where you would actually kill Ragnaros. Oh, my bad. I need to actually I need to actually respect back to Pharaoh, because I need there's a bunch of abilities that I actually need. Bam. Okay. Okay. So I'll kill these. Okay, kill these ads. And then I can go directly in to kill him. So I think for this boss, there's actually nothing too special. He just does a lot of damage, and he's kind of like thick. It's very difficult. It's gonna take some time to DPS him down. But apparently, if you had like if you actually had the older buffs from the Phoenix, would actually do quite a bit more damage. You'll do a couple million at a time instead of just a couple 100,000, which is what you're seeing here. Okay, so then you would talk to this magma orb, right? And then it would actually be done. And then, whoops, yeah. So it's gonna form a walkway, which you would proceed to cross. And then there's 2 more bosses once you get there. Just waiting here. There's an invisible wall that I can't cross. And it seems like I'm all full, so or very close to full. But luckily, I have Luckily, I bought the Traveler's Mammoth, so then I can actually sell as we go here. So this is yet another boss, and what you have to do here is there's an achievement, but this achievement actually requires 3 players, so you would need a couple friends here. And what you have to do is each of you guys have to like stand on darn, okay, each of you guys will actually have to stand on a platform, and then you have to, at the same time you guys have to start the platform, and then one of you guys need to like DPS them down quick. So it used to be, group by groups, right? And you guys have to actually kneel, but in recent times you don't have to do that. So these dogs are actually kind of very difficult to actually deal with. So ideally you need to like DPS them down ASAP kind of thing, just because they would perma-stun you. And then the boss shapeshifts. So this boss, when you actually approach him, this boss would actually shapeshift into one of two things. He can either turn into a scorpion or a lion, and each of them will do different things. But I think at this point, if you're geared enough to actually do this solo, you don't have to worry too much about it. But what he does is, when he shapeshifts into a lion, he'll like leap back. He'll attack and leap back, which will get annoying if you're melee, right? So what you have to do is you almost have to corner him to a corner. You have to corner him, and then he can't really leap back anymore. So let's start the fight here. So I'm gonna try. Okay, so yeah, he's shaped it into a cat or a lion. I guess a cat. Let's go with the cat. And then what you have to do is you have to find this corner, DPS him down, and then see what happens. He'll leap back, but then as long as you corner him, there's really nowhere for him to leap, right? So, right, and then what he'll do is he'll actually create mirror images of himself, and as long as you continue to be on target, you're okay. And as you can see, he does some damage, but he doesn't do enough to actually kind of pose a threat here, right? Oops. And then what you can do is you can actually use AOE to kind of damage these images because they have a fraction of the life. And then that's it. Oh, that sucks. So what I have to do is I have to just get rid of some stuff. So 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 so. Oops. Gotta sell some of these stuff here. Just give me 1 second here. So the lock boxes, chances are they're really not really worth anything anymore. So that's why I don't bother. And then we're gonna go onwards to fight Ragnaros, which is a lot more threatening back then, but now it's not too bad. So once you get into the sanctuary, you gotta get off your mount. You're forced to get off your mount, and then he's gonna show up here. So for the fight with Ragnaros, there's only a couple things you have to kind of worry about. It used to be when his hammer comes down, or yeah, when his hammer comes down, then it actually creates a huge explosion because he'll drop his hammer, and then there's gonna be some ads that are actually gonna that there's gonna be some ads that actually will move towards the hammer, and once it reaches it creates an explosion, and then the whole team wipes. But that was back then. Now now we don't have to worry too much about it. Although it does still do quite a bit of damage here. But we'll actually get to the fight. Hopefully I don't wipe. Chances are I probably won't. But in the off chance that I may, um, then I messed up. Get out of the fight. Okay, so geared rag still looks pretty cool after such a long time. And let's get to it. So the goal is to DPS him down before the second phase, like most fights, unless you decide to do the achievement. But I think you should be okay. So he's gonna. Okay, so this is gonna be the second phase, and Cenarius is gonna show up with Malfurion, and then they're gonna try to subdue Ragnaros. So in the old phase, see, some of these ads will actually go towards the hammer. It's gonna create an explosion, and your job is to stop these ads from going there. And then he'll come back up. He'll pick up his hammer again, And then I believe, yep, you DPS him down, and then he's gonna. Oh, I think I killed it too fast. Oh, I think I killed him too fast. Oh, dang, dude. Or I think I actually did that already, and then oh, never mind. He's still here. He's still here. And then Scenarios is gonna show up, or unless it bugged out. Okay, I'm just gonna assume it's gonna bug out. And then that. So this basically concludes it. Majority all the bosses are dead, and this concludes the solo 25 man Firelands. If you have any questions or comments below, sir, please comment below. And as always, like and subscribe to this video. Thanks, guys. See you next time.